Hi YouTubers, this is Captain Helmet 69 here. Just a quick video, as always. I've had a couple of people who've requested that I put on some information on parameters required for discus. So here we go. Now, a lot of people will try and tell you that keeping discus is really hard. Now, I've only been keeping fish for about 18 months now, and I'm successfully got discus here in my tank. I've got 10 discus which look really healthy, so I'm very happy. So anyone that tries to scare you and put you off by saying that it's really hard, it's not. It is hard in some respects because you do have to be extra keen, but let's be honest, most people who look after their aquariums are extra keen anyway. They try and literally get it looking as good as they can. Right, so here we go. Temperatures. Currently my tank is running at its lowest. It will probably hit about 28. That's on a really cold day. At its highest it hits about 32. Now, on any sort of advice I've been given, or from reports I've read on the internet and books which I've read, that falls within specification, so that's nice and easy. pH, it's recommended that you have it at a higher pH when you have juvenile discus. So that's literally ranging from about 7 to 7.5 at the most. Now my pH is currently running at about 6.6, 6.7. Now they recommend it around 6.5 as good conditions for breeding. Now I'm waiting for mine to grow up a little bit more before any of that will be happening, but it's something hopefully which will happen in the future. Obviously you need to keep your nitrate level down. That's quite easy to carry out really. Obviously you need to keep your tank clean and healthy. I carry out 2 water changes a week. I replace my filter floss once every week, my carbon every month, and every time I carry out a water change I literally get the filter sponges and give them a wash in some of the water which I've taken out of the aquarium. In terms of water, I just use tap water and a standard dechlorinator. I've read somewhere that some people even use rainwater, which is, I thought, were quite interesting, but I'm never going to try anything extreme like that. Eventually I'm wanting to get an external filter, which does make things a lot easier in terms of your maintenance. You don't have to be quite as thorough as which I do, literally just with a bucket and a siphon. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else really I need to put on there. I think my tank's been in better condition since I've put plants in. I'd strongly recommend that you do have a planted aquarium with your discus. I've found since I've put plants in, I've not had really any issues at all with algae. You get the odd little green spots here and there, but literally just get your little magic magnet and just give that a little whiz round. But I'm not going to move it just because the fish are interested and keen. They'll think they're getting fed. Well, they are due to be fed anytime soon. They're always hungry. In terms of feeding, a lot of people tend to recommend that you carry it out 3 to 5 times a day. I pretty much work on them parameters as well, to be honest. I normally do 4 or 5 feeds. In terms of how much lighting I give them, I tend to give them about 10 hours worth of lighting. I haven't got mine set on timers, to be honest, but it's something which I am going to be doing because there's going to be a holiday coming up soon, so I do need it putting on timers. And we get somebody to come around and feed the fish hopefully while I'm away. Now you can, with the tank I've got, it is a dual, you can get an auto feeder which does go into the lid, but with mine it hasn't got the slots because it's an older version, so I'd have to cut it in, and to be honest I can't be bothered to do that. It just seems like a lot of hard work when somebody will pop round and I know they're reliable and they'll feed them for me, so that's always good. I had to do quite a lot of work to get me parameters where they are in terms of pH, because I did have some problems with the acid dropping, which I've mentioned previously. As you can see, I've got half sand, half gravel, and I've got my 2 pieces of tougher rock, and that's literally got the pH balance, like I said earlier, it's 6.6, 6.7, which is just about where I want it to be, so I'm quite happy with that. I don't think there's really much more really too in depth that I need to explain. Something which I am wanting to get, as you can see, I've got my filter stone there blowing up. I'm wanting, when I hopefully get my external filter, I do want to get a spray bar, which tend to come with them, because I do like the effect that they give off. So it almost literally looks like, with some of them, you can have like a waterfall effect at your back of your tank, which is something I think would look nice. I took some cuttings from the plant as well, and I put them in my little tank, which you'll have seen. I'm trying to do a little bit of work on that, and I'm going to post up a video probably tomorrow of my little tank, because there's a few things which I'm contemplating doing with that, so if I could get some comments on that as well as this video and see what you guys think. So there we are, guys. While I've got you on, I might as well drop a bit of food in for them, eh? Let's do a few close-ups while I just find where it's all hiding. Some bad filming there. Left it on my table, look. Alright, just have to bear with me a second. It's quite hard trying to unscrew the lid off your food while you're filming. Just with one hand. It's not the easiest thing to do in the world. But I just thought, while I'm filming, I'll just pop a bit of food in. Now, in terms of feeding, I might as well mention feeding while I'm carrying it out. I tend to give mine, just do the lid there, you can have a couple of top views there. I tend to give them mainly a flake diet, consisting of, it's got a lot of garlic in it, it's recommended for them. If you are going to, like I say, get discus, I'd recommend ordering the special flake for them, and I feed them on frozen beef heart as well. Now some people do use other things like shrimp, other types of flake. Some people use bloodworm, but I've read in a lot of places that's not highly recommended. So I just stick literally to these 2 items. I think that gives them a reasonably varied diet, and they seem happy and they keep growing. Right, let's pop a bit of food in for them. Just try and get a little camera angle if I can while I'm trying to drop the food in. Don't know if you can see my hand in there or not. Trying to get some cool angles here. Now, typically they know that I'm filming them, because normally they're quite keen on eating out my hand, but as I lifted the lid up one-handed, I weren't quite as careful as I normally am, so I think it spooked him a little bit. There we are, just watch him having a little bit of a frenzy. Just wondering what that probe is. That's just for my thermometer. There we are, some hungry fishes. There's my bristle nose catfish, which is recommended as a companion to go with the discus, not your common pleco, because the discus, especially when they get older and they're looking to mate, they literally put a mucus on the body, and the plecos seem to like the taste of that mucus, and they will get on the side of your discus and as good as suck it to death. Bristlenose are not known for carrying that out, so that's why they're quite often recommended as a good bottom feeder to have in your aquarium. So there we are, guys. I'll just spin it round, just get a couple more shots of them. There we are, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this little video. If you've got any more questions, if there's anything that I've missed out, then please comment. I'll apologise for the poor camera work. I normally have my girlfriend to give me a hand, but she's out at cinemas, so I had to try and do it one-handed. Right, thank you again, guys. Please comment, rate, like, subscribe. Captain Helmet 69. Thank you. Goodbye.